Hey Renegades, Jeff Middleton back with you guys again in the trenches. Talk about the NHL draft, which is happening on Wednesday, June 28th. At least the first round is happening on Wednesday, June 28th, and rounds 2 through 7 are happening on Thursday, June 29th. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a primer on what the Nashville Predators are looking to do, what they will be able to do, and some of the prospect names that you might be on the lookout for as draft day approaches or has already passed, depending on when you watch this video. So first of all, what can the Predators do? Well, the Predators are picking 15th and 24th overall. The 24th overall pick coming from the Edmonton Oilers in the Matthias Ekholm, Tyson Barrie exchange. And the Predators and Barry Trotz have been looking to move up in the draft now. The real question is how far up can they move? And another real question that goes along with that is whether or not any teams in the top 10, top 5 are looking to move up, considering how stacked this draft class is. And reportedly, Montreal might be looking to move back. Whether or not they are going to is the real question. But another question that pops up is, what is it going to take for the Predators to move up that far? The 5th overall pick in this year's draft is going to be an impactful NHL player, more likely than not. So whether or not the Nashville Predators are floating out some of the big prospect names or some guys like Alex Carrier or Dante Fabro or even UC Saros, I highly doubt the UC Saros is a name being floated out there. Barry Trotz has gone on record and said that he's not actively shopping Saros, but he is listening to offers on him because he wants to make the team better however he can. Now, they have the 15th overall pick and 24th overall pick as of this recording, so I'm just going to approach this as if they're in the middle of the first round to the late part of the first round. So what could the Predators be looking for? Now, that's the real question that has been kind of plaguing everybody's mind, and this all depends on who's left on the board, but there are some intriguing names that could be there for the Predators at 15th overall. And I've written about some prospects over at ontheforecheck.com and flamesnation.ca. The Preds are picking 15th, and the Flames are right after them at 16th. So it's been nice to kind of be able to focus on players that are in that range no matter what. So there are a few guys that I'd like to kind of inform you about. First is Axel Sandin Pellikka, the Swedish defenseman that has played just lights out in the Swedish leagues across the pond, as they might say. In the J20 National League specifically, he was fantastic. He's a super mobile player, not the most tall, physically gifted defenseman in terms of physicality, grit, etc., but he will wow you with his ability in the transition game and his ability to move the puck in the zone and through all 3 zones. He's a fantastic defenseman, and considering where the Preds prospect pool is at, I think an addition like him in the defensive part of that would be huge. And there have been some other names that have floated around. Nate Danielson, the big smooth skating center from the WHL with the Brandon Wheat Kings, is one name that has been kind of around that area. Now, whether or not the likelihood that Axel Sandin Pellikka or Nate Danielson will be there is a little bit low, depending on who you trust. Bob McKenzie's list had them going in different spots, one higher up and one closer to where the Preds are picking. And, there are other names out there. Matthew Wood, another player. Matthew Wood and Zach Benson, 2 players who are likely not going to fall to the Preds, but crazier things have happened. We saw Joachim Kemmel fall to 17th last year out of I don't know what, but he's been fantastic in Milwaukee and probably the steal of the 2022 NHL draft. And there are guys too. Gavin Brindley, I wrote about him. He's a 5'9" forward that played for the Michigan Wolverines this last season. Was one of the best scorers on the team, outside of the obvious Adam Fantilli and some drafted forwards like Mackie Samoskevich, defenseman Luke Hughes, and some other guys as well. But there are a lot of options for the Preds at 15th and 24th overall, and if they can package those 2 picks together to move up, by all means, they should do it, because this draft class is absolutely loaded, and I'll be super excited to talk to you guys again and see who they've picked. Back to you, Charlie.